Welcome to a different view of my office. You are normally situated right here, looking at me as I sit in this chair. But today I wanted you to have a clear view of the monitor that I will be using when I really start to edit this film. Coming up this week, I am going to be editing the kind of the recruiter video. It's not a promotional for the audience to come watch the film. It's a recruiter to get more men involved in being interviewed for the film. So that's coming up. But a few tiny little things have happened. I guess one thing happened. But we'll talk about all of that right after the opening credits. I need to get you caught up on what has been filmed already and actually introduce you to some of the faces and names that have been recorded for the project. I will say right up front, there is no guarantee that any of the names and faces I show you today will end up in the film. I'd like to think they all will because they all had good things to say within their interviews. I'm quite confident that I can pull a soundbite or two at least from each of them, if not a lot more than that. And some of that will depend on how many I get by the time this thing is done. I would love to have dozens to choose from. The whole idea of the film, or I guess the underlying philosophy, is that it's for every man. You could be 16, you could be 80. Obviously, there are differences in what you can handle. Your average 80-year-old is not going to go to the gym and try to deadlift 300 pounds. Unless he has taken superb care of his body for his whole life and is strong. There is a natural aging process. Anyway, in order to convey that, I don't want it to be any one age group. I don't want it to be limited in scope. Obviously, I'm currently limited in scope by my budget. I can't really get far outside of Redmond, but I do hope to conquer that actually this summer. I hope to be able to get to Portland, Seattle, maybe Northern California, Idaho, take a trip here or there, get as many interviews, round up as many, line them up, and get them done, so that this thing can start broadening out. I'm sure within Redmond itself, I could collect enough interviews to give it a feeling of having a broad demographic involved. But I would like to include geography in that as well. I almost said geology. Geography, yep. If the budget really allowed it, I'd love to go New England, the southern states. There are people I know, and by know, I mean I am acquainted with them on Instagram or TikTok or places like that, who are very involved in fitness. They'd make great interviews. I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just shot the 6th one this week. So, yeah, way back to what I was saying at the very beginning, I want to start getting you acquainted with the people involved. And so, here are the people I have interviewed already. It's been 14 months since the first interview. So 2024, the gears turned really slowly. Okay, first up is Jonathan Curtis. Jonathan Curtis was the first person to respond to my call. I think his was through Craigslist. I didn't know him at all. He's not somebody I handed one of my cards to in person. I posted on Craigslist. I was looking for people to interview, and he responded and got interviewed. He's into calisthenics. He is a clothing model when he gets the opportunity, when he can get the gigs. So he likes to stay lean. He's not one of these guys looking for a lot of big size. He's looking to stay lean, somewhat slender, but fit, definitely fit, so that if he's got to wear a tank top or an open collar, he looks, his body looks good underneath it. Oh, well, and what I'm doing here, since I have to cut all this up and find certain sound bites and break it up throughout this this little trailer that I'm going to be making. I'm doing the color timing now on the master interview. So that then if I cut it up first, then I'll do the color timing on one shot of Jonathan, and if I use him several other places, I have to go find them and apply that same coloring to that shot. This will just get it out of the way once and for all. So I have Jonathan Curtis, then I have Dustin Hook. I don't remember what Dustin said. He was into weightlifting and jogging, I believe. Also just informed me today that he's actually attained his goal weight of about 190 pounds. He was losing weight and got down to it. So congratulations. Dustin lives in the city of Prineville, very near to Redmond. And we had a good conversation there. I don't remember the details. I think he was military. He came to me through a short film I shot years ago. I had a lot of fun doing it. That's the one that's still not done, that in fact the cast and crew have not seen 11 years later. That's what I get for having to earn a living and focus on other things. The third interview I got was Carlos Hernandez Barro, co-worker of mine when he and I both worked at the pizza parlor where I still have my job, but he's moved on. He lives in Washington. At one point he was going to enter the Marines. I don't know if that has ever happened. Maybe life plans change, so who knows. For a brief period of time we overlapped at the same workplace and the same gym, but I was unable to get some workout footage for him, so just have the interview. Maybe someday if we happen to end up in the same city again, but he's not that far north in Washington, so it could happen. I think he's the youngest at 18 that I've got, which is fine. I'm not looking for any particular age group or body type or goal. I want a little of everything, which brings me to Larry South, an acquaintance of mine from church, who said, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. I'll be in your film. And so we had a nice talk. At his age, he's not doing the heavy lifting. He did say that back when he was in, I think, college, maybe high school or college, he was into the heavy lifting, and he said it took a toll on his body, which I get. So it was interesting to get that perspective. His exercise these days is going for a walk. He and his wife, he said, go for, I think it added up to a few miles. They go out a couple times a day and get a little bit more. So it's not even one long walk, but he does stay on his feet, gets on his feet and keeps the blood flowing, keeps the muscles utilized, and that's something that's very important. At any age, really. If you've got a long-term desk job, take your lunch break to walk around the building a few times. I've worked places where people have done that. That was Larry, and then this is a guy, Matt. I think his name was Matt Sanford. There we go. He had a lot of good stuff to say. This is not to show favoritism to any interview, but some people are just more adept at explaining themselves clearly, concisely, and yet also thoroughly. I would ask Matt a question and off he would go, and just about everything he said was golden. So I'm pretty sure he'll end up in the film. I'm pretty sure all of these will end up in the film in one way or another. Then the one I got is his footage even in here? Just got his interview. Where's my hard drive here? Just got his interview last week. Young man by the name of Bruno Pozzo, which I am convinced is supposed to be Bruno Pozzo, but he says Bruno Pozzo, so we'll go with that. And so he came by. We got a nice interview. He is into basic weightlifting. He has no interest in becoming big and bulky. Like Jonathan, he likes to stay, trim, strong but trim, and so he does some full body workouts, a little bit of yoga, some walking. Doesn't do any jogging, and I don't. Even as I say some of this stuff, I don't know if I'm conveying the idea. He's not into looking big and bulky. Parentheses, which is a shame. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just highlighting how everybody's a little bit different. I haven't interviewed an actual bodybuilder yet. All of these guys are generally interested in just maintaining basic health, which is good. That's good content. I don't want this film to be about bodybuilders or about powerlifters. I don't want it to be about one specific it's not genre, one specific discipline, one specific focus. I do want to get a bodybuilder. I do want to get a power lifter. I want to get a swimmer, so professional. Not doesn't have to be professional, but really experienced swimmer. That's his focus. That's what he does. Maybe some joggers. Where that's what they do. They want to go. They want to be in a marathon, so that's what they're training for. Things like that. I want a wide variety, and I feel like I'm off to a pretty good start, at least in terms of ages. We've got 20s, we've got 30s. I forget how old Larry is. I want to say 60s, and then Matt. I don't know if I asked Matt his age, but looking at him, I would say 50s. So we're all over the map in terms of ages, which is good. Right now, they're kind of clumped in a general area in terms of body type and goals is amounts to just staying healthy. So as time goes on, as the summer approaches, we'll branch out. I need to get this. I need to get the recruiter done because the good weather is coming, and once the good weather arrives and I can travel over the mountains that normally are covered in snow all winter long, I got to get out, grab those interviews while I can, as many as I can, including what I hope are a couple of professionals, including my former personal trainer. I hope he'll say yes to being interviewed. Get some of those more experienced interviews that will have more of the informational content about actually working out and what to focus on. So, a lot to do. I have no idea if I filled 15 minutes just now. I'd like to think I did. I'd like to think we do not have to stretch this any further. But so I will be cutting all this up over the next couple of days. I have Tuesday and Wednesday off from work. I'll have to go DoorDash and earn a little bit. We need more income, but I'd like to think I have some time to create the recruiter, which I can then email out to people. I've tried putting it in writing, but I would like people to see, one, that I really mean it, that this is actually a film, and two, I've already got people on board and it is moving forward, as opposed to just an email saying, "Hi, I see you're into fitness. I'm interested. Would you be interested?" And I think I've even said this before. I've gotten some looks. I think there are people. No, I know there are people out there who question the legitimacy of what I'm doing here, who wonder, behind their eyes, behind what they will ever say out loud, they wonder if this isn't just a front for some very inappropriate content, and it is not. Among other things, my wife is watching, and I don't want to go into. I don't even want to talk about those things. Anyway, I want this to be a great project that any guy anywhere can watch, that nobody even feels taken advantage of or spends their time wondering if the whole reason I met up with them was some other reasons. There's no hidden motive here. I want to make this movie. I want more men to get fit and healthy in America, and primarily because I know how good it feels. I know what it feels like to lose 70 pounds and suddenly realize one day, I don't have the back pain, I don't have the leg pain, I can jog without getting winded. It has helped me find jobs that I would not normally been able to take. I can do things, I can do them longer. It's great. I want this to serve that purpose. So I've got the 6 interviews, 6 man on the street interviews. I actually have another one, but I think I really am out of time this time. So was that better? Was that more interesting than the past few? I'm going to go back and watch all the other ones and just see what I've said too many times because I've forgotten I've said it before, and try to get this thing a little more exciting now that the good weather is coming for traveling and filming more people. Okay, gotta go.